Aruna ma'am,
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
visible and the slides are moving now?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is
Moving now?
moving. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Can proceed.
Right. Good morning to all. And today I'm here before you for the presentation of a talk on industrial perspectives on herbal drug development, challenges, innovations, and academic preparedness. So it's day 2 of the 5 days FDP on empowering educators navigating industrial technological research and horizons in pharmacy from 22nd to 26th June. Basically, when we talk about the natural products, we always see different kinds of the things they are say. We will see few of them, how they are going to be useful for the purpose of industry academia collaboration, where we can see the academic preparedness, where we see the global demand and complexity, challenging with the quality and authentication of the plant products, innovations with the advanced technologies, how can we do the best in natural products, and then innovation, advanced technologies, how we are going to use in the laboratory, and most importantly, the collaboration between industry and academia to keep the subject alive for the decades together. Herbal drug medicine, it's been a dynamic and rapidly growing sector where World Health Organization itself says that 80% of the people in a developing country are dependent on the natural healthcare products and advances in scientific research. The integration is required to be dense need of the hour to do a traditional medicine system with the modern technologies has created a numerous opportunities in the herbal therapeutics. Actually, this integration has to be done between, we know folklore medicine, we know the traditional medicine, and we have a modern technologies which we are going to see few in the forthcoming slides. It's really required to combine both the traditional medicinal system, our ancestors, this thing, and also with the modern technologies. But there are plenty number of challenges, particularly in pharmacognosy, is related to the quality control, standardization, safety assessment, clinical validation, intellectual property rights, and also regulatory compliances continuing influence the industrial growth in general. Basically, now we have to think of few important things like biotechnology, artificial intelligence, metabolomics, and nanotechnology. We have to reshape the herbal drug research in the development. We as a faculty members of academics in the institutions, we have to play a vital role in preparing the skilled professionals capable of thinking of meeting the combinational industry demands to be met with the advancement of the systems in the nature. Basically, when we talk about, we call it as pharmacognosy is a big brother of all subjects because it is the ancient one. Historically, herbal medicine were developed based on empirical observation that has been over the time as an experience came for the traditional healing practices and also traditional healers, folklore healers, and also the Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Yoga, and these systems are documented thousands and thousands of medicinal plants and then therapeutic uses. I no need to tell you guys that the medicinal traditional system of medicine like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and Yoga, they have made enormous departments with the practical approaches of the medicinal plants and their therapeutic uses. Over the time, the investigation is going on in such a way that we are leading to isolation of the bioactive compounds from the medicinal plants that will be leading to the resulting in the development of several important drugs in nature. As we all know, plenty number of examples I can take as a explanation, but here I wanted to quote only a few. There is a morphine that is coming from Papaver somniferum, quinine from Cinchona species, digoxin, digitoxin, and from the Digital purpurea, artemisinin from Artemisia annua. From this only, we are going to get two semisynthetic compounds called as artemether and arteether, paclitaxel from Taxus annua, and also from this Taxus annua and Taxus baccata, we are going to get another synthetic compound called docetaxel and paclitaxel are the components. Here, these discoveries have demonstrated the immense potential of the medicinal compounds as a one, where we all see about the selection of medicinal plants. Basically, when we do the natural product research, primary challenge will be coming in selection of medicinal plants. What plant has to be selected and what activity has to be studied. Here only I wanted to give a guide of activity of interest and compound of interest. When we are working on a medicinal plant, we have to choose either of these two pathways, one either of activity of interest or maybe the disease or the problem of interest. So we need to talk about, there are plenty number of medicinal plants which are in and around our area, which are not scientifically explored. We have to identify such type of medicinal plants. It is mere waste to identify a natural product from an endangered medicinal plant. So it's a basic principle in the natural product research. And then comes about the authentication of the plant material. This authentication of the plant material is basically has to be done in a proper way so that the plant should not be misunderstood or misguiding the people in the society. Then we need to concentrate on extraction and isolation of the phytoconstituents. The compound of interest we have to think of, it's a thorough literature review. Then we have to go for the extraction of the actual compound, then lead to the isolation of the pure compound by using sophisticated analytical techniques like HPLC, GC, NMR, and then we have to standardize the extract. This is the new thing coming into picture. We have to standardize the extract, how much extract we have isolated, and we have separated the pure compound, and what is the amount of the standard compound present in the extract. Then comes the safety and efficacy evaluation, where we are going to see about how far the plants are safe. Usually when we say it is herbal, everybody will feel that this is good like that. Medicinal plants are good, they are safer, comparatively they are safer, but we cannot say that all plants are safe because we do have medicine poisonous plants. So we have to think of the safety and its efficacy in comparison to the already existing formulation in the market. Then comes about the clinical validation. The data, patient data has to be properly identified, studied, understood. Then we need to go for the validation of the data. Then comes about the farming into a suitable formulation. The most important step we all are stopping it is about getting a formulation. It is our duty as a natural product researcher. We have to identify the compound and we have to go for its formulation. Then comes the regulatory approvals. We have to get the approval properly what is required for that one. Then leads to the commercial manufacturing or the post manufacturing component that we are doing, where we see the post marketing surveillance will be done for the purpose of making it into a good natural product. Basically, if we see the current herbal pharmaceutical industry, it has experienced a remarkable growth over the past decade. Increasing consumer preferences for natural remedies has contributed significantly to the market expansion that is in the herbal pharmaceutical industry. The few factors I wanted to explain here, one is about the rising prevalence of chronic diseases. Of long period, when the diseases are being exposed, usually it is already, we all know that prevention is better than cure, and this prevention can be effectively achieved by using herbal medicines. So because of this one reason, herbal pharmaceutical industry is enormously growing in the nature. Then comes growing interest in preventive healthcare. It is a palliative therapy that we have been already experiencing and we are using it for many number of years. And now the people are looking at the preventive healthcare, how I can prevent myself from the diseases. There is a numerous awareness is coming. It will be coming in the future generations also regarding how to prevent it. Prevention is better than cure, whatever we all say. And then there is an awareness that has been increased because of the traditional medicine. Because of the initiation by Government of India, the Ayush department is doing much work, really much work on the identification, improvement of the awareness of traditional medicine in the public. I always feel that when the traditional healers are also combined with the Ayush department, we are able to get a good fruit of this one. And there is a demand for plant-based products. As I was talking to you 5 minutes back, we always believe the plant-based medicine. So there's a huge demand and the supply is far lesser than the comparison. And the other two important aspects, one is the nutraceutical department of nutraceutical branch of the pharmacognosy or the natural products is increasing, it's expanding and in the form of wellness sectors. Then comes the government support for traditional medicine system. As I told you, there is a revitalization is going on where herbal medicine, traditional medicine system is being enormously supplied by the government. And there is an improvement in the efficacy of the herbal products are also being seen. Then comes the what actually this herbal pharma industry is going to have. This is a basically herbal medicine that comes with the traditional remedies or the plant extracts. Nowadays, we are going to make them into a NDDS also. And then nutraceuticals, the second important branch that is about the health benefits, chronic diseases, and also the prevention. Then comes the dietary supplements. They are added to diet to the essential nutrients. And then the nutraceuticals are the functional foods as a fortified foods, additionally given with the fortified with calcium, fortified with minerals, something like like that, the food will be enhancing the health. Then comes about the botanical drugs, including the FDA approved plant-derived drugs as the pure compounds. We are going to give it to the people. And then is herbal phytopharmaceuticals, the standardized plant extracts that are going to be modern research is being done in the nature. And then, and most importantly, another second branch of the natural products is herbal cosmetics. Apart from nutraceutical, it is also there as a cosmeceutical, where we are exploring the various opportunities of the natural products. India, particularly, it possesses a unique advantage in natural product research is that it is rich in biodiversity and traditional knowledge system. The country is home to thousands and thousands of medicinal plants which are well established in the Ayurvedic industry, which provides an enormous opportunity for herbal drug discovery and research can be done in the system. There comes the what is industrial expectation in herbal drug development. Basically, there are some quality standards as synthetic drug. We have to compare what are all the components which are available and we are going to see them individually. The first important thing is quality. When it is called as a medicine, we never talk about its cost, its availability, its taste, other things. But consistency in the quality is the essential one we have to maintain. This will be seeking, it can be done by the authentic raw material that we are using, standardization of the extracts, reproducible manufacturing processes, and batch-to-batch consistency. These four are coming under the quality parameters of the natural products, which we are, practically speaking, we are lacking in the identification of authentic raw material and standardization of the extracts normally, and reproducible manufacturing processes that we are doing, and batch-to-batch consistency in nature. Then comes about the safety. Safety, the manufacturer must be ensured the safety of the components with the absence of the toxic components. Heavy metal testing has to be done. Pesticide residue analysis that we talk about as a residual effect, and microbial contamination of the compound, which we have been converting as a natural product into a suitable herbal formulation. Then comes the efficacy. Basically, scientific evidence for the efficacy of the therapeutic claim is very, very critical, where we need to go for the in vitro, in vivo pharmacological studies. And then nowadays, industries are actually asking for mechanistic investigations. Mere extraction, identification, and evaluation in a pharmacological activity is not sufficient to be as a mechanistic one. We have to make it out in the form of the clinical evidences and mechanistic data, the real world data. Actually, they need in the real world data. Then comes about the compliance with the national, international regulations of the mandatory. As well, when we have an FDA, this thing meeting, FDA audit, we used to have the compliances with the requirements of the country where we are establishing the company or the firm, and also international regulations is the most important mandatory one. Then comes the market competitiveness is most important because innovation, cost effectiveness, rapid consumer acceptability, and commercialization of the product. So when it comes into the innovation, we have to think of how far my product is innovative in comparison to the other products that are already available in the market. And also the cost effectiveness has to be seen with the consumer acceptability and also commercialization of the same. And then, as I was talking to you, the components which are expected by the industry are the authentic raw material, the reproducible manufacturing process, batch to batch consistency is most important in the authentic raw material, and standardization of the extract is another aspect where reproducibility of the compounds is the most important one. And absence of toxic material, the contaminants, heavy metals, residue, microbial contamination, and pharmacological studies, regulatory, and also the compliance of the market competitiveness is about to be required. Then comes about the major challenges in herbal drug development. First important drawback that we are getting in herbal drug industry is variability in the raw material that we are going to get, the bulk drug. One of the biggest challenges is variability in medicinal plant material. It is dependent on many things. I will quote few important that will be usually coming into picture. The geographical location. The geographical variation is the most important one we have to think of, because ashwagandha plant, which is grown in Kerala, which is grown in Andhra Pradesh, which is grown in Delhi, which is grown in Jammu and Kashmir, completely it is different on the components which it is going to present, because the biological biogenesis will be greatly affected by many number of environmental features in the geographical location is the most important one. I mean to tell you, the accumulation, production and accumulation of the phytoconstituent is purely dependent upon the geographical location. That is the reason why we say Tinaveli Senna. Tinaveli is a place which is located in Tamil Nadu. Why we say Kashmir apple, like that. So that's a geographical tag that has been given, and it is a climate. And the factor it is indicating with the climate, the frost condition, amount of the water, moisture in the climate and other things will be greatly making it variability in the raw material. And then comes up the soil conditions where the soil is fertile completely or not, we have to think of it. And then comes about the harvesting season. Many a times it is lacked by the farmers who are doing the natural products cultivation. They don't involve any scientifically sound person in pharmacognosy. Because of that, the harvesting season is not able to be known. They will be doing on their own. And then is a plant age. We all know about the biogenesis as an age indicating age is increasing. The plant is going to go for a better this thing or called as the biogenesis in nature. And then is a storage condition. How far we are keeping it correctly, storing it not storing at a regular temperature and all. That is the most important category to be considered. And then variation can significantly alter the phytochemical composition and therapeutic activity. As I was saying to you, geographical location, climate, soil conditions, harvesting seasons, plant age, storage, all these things will be going into a consistently in nature. What is the impact of industry, of these things in the industry? Because of these factors, we get inconsistent efficacy in the plant product, difficulty in standardization because of the batch to batch variation. There are challenges in the manufacturing because of the API and bulk API and excipients interaction will be there. Regulatory problems may come because of this one is going to be happen. Then comes the, as I was talking to you 5 minutes back, the authentication of plant material. Misidentification of the medicinal plant is a major issue. The practical problem is that from a single genus, we are having plenty number of species, but out of them, one will be actively working as a medicinal plant. It is our task to identify what exactly is going to work, is useful for us. The problem is, as I told you, adulteration. Majority of the time, the substitution and adulteration both are going to be done in the system, which is going to have a different effect on the authentication. Then comes the morphological similarity and supply chain complexity. That is what the geographical tag I was talking to you. In one particular place, the compound is available, and further, the morphological similarity will be there. How far we are able to solve this problem? Basically, we need to go with the pharmacognostic evaluation. Here, I wanted to advise all the non-pharmacognosy people who will be indulging themselves into natural product research. Please don't go directly for the extraction. First, you have to do a proper pharmacognostic study. Try to collect the fresh plant part that you are going to study. Do a complete pharmacognostic evaluation. The physical evaluation you have to do, chemical evaluation you have to do microscopic evaluation also. Get yourself confirmed with the pharmacognostic study. Then only you need to please go for the evaluation. And advanced way, we can go for the DNA barcoding for easy identification. Molecular markers we can use, or else we can go for the chromatographic fingerprinting, where we can primarily identify the authentication of the medicinal plant can be done. Then comes the standardization challenges. In industry, many of the times, synthetic drugs are very easy to go for the standardization because they are single chemical entity. But this is not in the case of herbal medicine. Herbal medicine, all the time they are multiple active constituent containing components. Right? So it is now the challenge is that what is a marker compound we have to identify. This marker compound identification is a major task, because of which the standardization is not becoming a good way in many cases. And the complex phytochemical profile, the structure of the component also, it is not so simple. It is a huge molecule we are going to see in the phytochemicals. You can see vincristine, vinblastine, how complex the structure is, and all the compounds coming from morphine, codeine, thebaine, and other heroin also. All these components are complex in structure. Because of that, it is becoming difficult for standardization. Then comes the natural variation. As I was talking to you a few minutes back, location-wise, the production accumulation of the chemical constituent will differ from one place to other place in the same plant, same genus, and same species. And lack of reference standards. Many of the times we don't find the pure compound available, even though they are claiming it as a pure. We are in lack of standardization of the component in nature. Industry, they are heavily investing in the analytical methods to ensure standardization. The thing is that as we are having the analytical methodology in the standardization of the natural products is more important, they are hugely investing in this area. And then comes the quality control issue. It became a significant concern for the pharmacognosist or natural product researcher to identify what is the quality control of this product. Basically, the thing will come the usual heavy metals, pesticides, aflatoxins, microbial contaminations, residual solvents left over, advanced analytical techniques. They are used to detect any quantity that is contaminating in nature. Here I wanted to quote residual solvent. The most important time after completion of extraction, no, we'll go for the recovery of solvent. When we are recovering the solvent, we will do the process by using rota evaporator in general, or else you can go for evaporation. There are some cases where you will see harmful solvents like methanol, carbon tetrachloride, and all. They may be residing there itself. So it is a primarily when we go for the quality control, we have to identify what is going to give the residual solvents in nature and how far we are able to separate it in the system. Then comes the scientific validation. Many traditional claims, they are lack of adequate scientific evidence. The reason is the challenges include the limited pharmacological studies. As long as our data is concerned, 250,000 different species are living along with human beings on the globe. Out of this 250,000, only 8 to 10% of the plants are known to human beings in terms of phytochemistry. Out of them, again, 5% are known to have the chemical constituents and pharmacological studies. So it is much required need of the hour to explore all the medicinal plants that are available on the globe, or they are living with us, they are the natural sources. It is our duty to get their pharmacological data, bring into limelight into the society. And then insufficient clinical trials. Many of the people, they will stop their research at formulation and evaluation. But I suggest you people, you please go with the clinical trials as we do with the chemical compounds. Please go with the clinical trials, so that insufficient data is a challenge, and inadequate mechanistic data. Cellular mechanism, the data mechanism is not available, which have to, a thorough literature review has to be done for this one. Industry is increasingly demanding for the evidence-based herbal products, because those days were gone. If you say herbal product, everybody is to believe them. But nowadays, everybody is asking for a scientific validation, scientific proof for the claim, whatever we are making with respect to the pharmacological activity of herbal products. In this thing, we have to think of the regulatory challenges also. When we talk about the regulatory framework, it is varying across the countries. There is a difference in existing in the product classification. This where it fall under. See, for example, turmeric is there. Turmeric falls under natural product. It is a natural product, whether it is a cosmeceutical or nutraceutical, or it is a normal compound. We have to clearly justify what is its classification, the product, and then registration requirements. As we all know, nowadays plenty number of patent, plenty number of publications are coming into picture, in which the registration has to be done properly, the IPR has to be properly protected. Then comes the clinical evidence expectations. As I was talking to you 5 minutes back, I told you clinical data of the many number of natural products is not available, which is supposed to be made available. And then is a labeling standards. How much of the labeling standards we are going to do, that has to be made available with the system, where the creating challenges for the global commercialization is happening in the nature. Then comes IPR issues. Protecting the herbal innovation is very difficult, because traditional knowledge often belongs to communities. Folklore medicine, we say, tribal medicine, we say, prior art may be existing, artist also may be existing. So thorough literature survey has to be made. Because of these two reasons, the patentability criteria may not be met many number of times. So we have to balance. That was in the first slide only I was talking to you. Traditional knowledge has to be linked with the advanced technologies that we are using, so that a balancing can be done in the innovation, and traditional knowledge production remains as a challenge in nature. And then sustainability concern. How far it is sustainable for a longer time. It is a over harvesting we are doing, which because of which the several medicinal plants is going to be threatened. How industry concern includes with the resource depletion. That was they know from single place of the whole country that so and so good quality product is available. They will be going there and they will be exploiting all the over harvesting components because of that the biodiversity do loss, and then the supply chain disruption will be happening in the nature. Then about the sustainability sourcing strategies are increasingly important. Like we need to think of crop rotation. We have to think of biologically how far we are going to use them in a proper way of cultivation, and you can go with the plant tissue culture or either the micropropagation type of things. Then comes the clinical trial difficulties. It is conducting the clinical trial for helper product is processing with the unique challenges where the clinical data is about to be made into system. And then comes the issues that we are going to see, the product standardization, the most important one. As I was telling to you, the placebo design. We have to design a placebo which will be working with the, and then parent variability. We have to innovate and we have to make it ready for the purpose. Then regulatory requirements. We have to meet all the regulatory requirements that are required that need to be ready for the formulation. validation. Then comes this clinical validation is still essential for the market acceptance is the most important nature. And then we have to see the awareness and misinformation. Many of the times herbal products experience this misinformation because somebody will say something, everybody will say their own words, own information to the people, and it is, you know, as a oral communication, it is reaching to everybody in the society. And because of this, what's going to happen? Herbal drug interaction as the most important it will be happening. Adverse effects are possible because authentication on the actual product we have not been utilized. Then comes the quality differences among the existing people it is going to come, and industries must emphasize scientific communication and consumer education has to be done where the communication has to be properly given through the proper channel to the society, and that educating the consumer regarding the natural products is required. Then comes the innovations transforming herbal drug development, where we all know in general we have to use advanced analytical techniques. Many of the times, modern analytical techniques have evolutionized with the herbal research, where HPTLC, HPLC, UPLC, LCMS and SMS, LCMS, GCMS, NMR and IR spectroscopy, the technologies, this comprehensive phytochemical characterization we can do. Usually we stop with the TLC or we start with the column chromatography and that. It is to be done properly up to the ending till structural elucidation. The plant has to be identified, thoroughly done with a literature review, identify the compound nature, go for the solvent extraction, then you go for the isolation of the pure compound. Then we have to go for the characterization of the compound by using NMR, IR, GCMS and other things. Then comes the metabolomics. This metabolomics is an important information is going to be given about the metabolites of the plant, where we will be talking about the biomarker discovery. That is what we call it as a quality control, standardization and all, authentication of the plant material. Industry, increasingly they are using metabolomics to improve the product consistency, because the product consistency is a major problem they are facing in many of the times of the natural product development. Then comes the genomics and also DNA barcoding. The DNA-based technologies we have to use with the authentication of medicinal plants. How it is going to benefit us? It is going to give us accurate species identification. The most important times we are dependent on a botanist, and we are going to them with the flower and the leaves of the plant, and we all will ask him or her to give us a authentication certificate. But DNA barcoding technology, if we use, we can get more accurate data about the species identification. And then at the same time, when we are identifying the natural product as a correct species, we can go for the detection of the adulteration also. Then we can monitor how the supply chain is working right from its site of production up to site of usage. These methods, they can improve the reliability and quality assurance in the system. And nowadays we are hearing about the biotechnology integration is the most important one to be for the medicinal plant production. Biotechnology offers an innovative solution for the purpose. And we all know the plant tissue culture, micropropagation, somatic embryogenesis, organ culture we can do, where we can develop the callus cultures also from this plant tissue culture, where we can get unique and identical components as the plant products. And cell suspension culture we can use, where production of valuable phytochemicals under controlled conditions can be done, where the yield is expected to be uniform at every set of time. And enhancement of the bioactive compounds production is going to be done in the genetic engineering, which is actually the need of the hour. Then AI and ML. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is increasingly used in the herbal drug industry. Where we are going to use this artificial intelligence? We use it in the drug discovery, basically in the screening of the compound. Plenty number of extracts will come when you go for the fractions of the column chromatography. Under the same column chromatography, one extract has been given with a number of fractions in different solvents like petroleum ether, chloroform, acetone, like that. So now, for the pharmacognosist or any natural product researcher, it is very difficult to identify a compound screening. There we will be using artificial intelligence and machine learning, which will be giving us the data about the predictive toxicology also. Predictive toxicology and also clinical data analysis can also be done, where the supply chain optimization can be done with the nature. AI significantly reducing the research time and cost also. Then comes the nanotechnology in herbal formulation. I wanted to stress on this one because nanotechnology nowadays it is improving a lot, and we have to successfully incorporate this nanotechnology in herbal drug delivery also. For example, what is going to be advantages? See, the bioavailability of the compound can be improved, whereas the improved stability can be seen for the purpose, and controlled release can be achieved by using a target delivery also. This is going to be a best option for the researchers, those wanted to work, because in industry they are now looking for the herbal nanoparticles, gold and silver nanoparticles, nano emulsions, right? Liposomes and also phytosomes are the components what we are seeing in the lipid membrane arrested components. And then some green extraction technologies I wanted to quote here. The industry will be looking at the traditional extraction methodologies. Often large solvent consumption is required, where we need to go for the modern approaches like supercritical fluid extraction, microwave assisted extraction, ultrasound assisted extraction, and pressurized liquid extraction we can do. These there are the benefits like a higher efficiency can be seen, reduced environmental impact can be seen, better efficiency, better reproducibility can also be seen in the nature. Then comes the omic technologies. I was talking to you, integrated omics approaches to be included with the genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics. Actually, these compounds are going to give transcription, translation. The gene expression is going to be studied, whereas the protein nature, its origin, its characteristic features, its impact on metabolics and metabolism in the plant can be identified. Ideally, we use these omic technologies to get a good biogenesis studies. Biogenetic studies, if you are able to understand, you can scale up, you can think of, you can get an idea about how much amount of the natural product is going to be affected with the component in nature. Industry academia collaboration that was to be done. Basically, I strongly believe personally, and as a faculty also, I always feel that pharmacognosy still need higher collaboration. Pharmacognosy academia need to have more collaboration with the industry, where a strong collaboration can have many benefits like exchange of the knowledge. The people who are working in industry have they have their own area of research, they are strong in that one, and vice versa the academicians also. We have to engulf, the brainstorming has to be done between the knowledge of the academicians and also the industry people. And then infra sharing. Few industries are very known, very well known, and they are the state of art laboratories in universities, and also in the private institutions, private esteemed institutions, and also in the natural products research laboratory. And then most importantly, joint research project. PA and co-PA can be from the both of the academic year and college and industry. Technology transfer can be done where the skill development can be made. This industry gains access to scientific expertise when they are meeting with many people, while academic institutions gain exposure to real world challenges that we are going to, we may agree it or not, what preparation we are making in as a project work in our PG, UG or PhD or a form of PharmD, whatever you make it as, its real world challenges can be only known in the industry orientation. It's my this thing. So there are some areas I wanted to suggest where the research and development can be jointly made the projects in terms of, for example, medicinal plant screening, pharmacognostic screening, and also pharmacological screening, phytochemical studies can be done with the shared knowledge, shared facilities that are available in the industry and academia. Then comes about the bioactive compound isolation. This is the another tedious process where alone single compound may take approximately 3 to 5 months of time to get it to be identified and isolated properly in a laboratory. So then we can go with a deep mechanistic studies where cellular level pharmacological studies can be done by using these people in expertise, and we can go for the product development also. And the second area where we can go with this development is that the clinical research, where collaborative research clinical trials strengthen the scientific evidence. We have to, the sample size may, academicians may be restricted, or they may be having their defined number of population we use as clinical trials patients, whereas the subjects can be become increased when we are able to link our project work, or if we plan a project work with the industry people, so that the scientific evidence can be properly collaborated. And then standardization of that sophisticated analytical methods where can be done with the development of the academia and also the industry, where collaboratively we can file the patent and technology commercialization can be done. For example, a PG candidate will do a new formulation identified in the pharmacy institution, academic institution. This has to be linked with the industry person so that the technology can be made commercialized in the near future, so that who knows that formulation will become a successful commercial formulation in the market also. Then comes the academic preparedness for the herbal pharmaceutical industry. Being a herbal drug teacher or else pharmacognosy faculty, how we have to be ready. The curriculum modernization, I'm very happy that PCA came with a new syllabus as per the NEP 2020 guidelines, and whatever I'm covering, I'm suggesting here, this has been already incorporated in that one. Herbal drug industry, herbal drug standardization has to be done. The regulatory affairs, quality assurance, clinical research, intellectual property management, and data analytics. Actually, here herbal drug standardization, theoretically and practically, we have to make them be available with the data in their mind regarding the pharmacological studies, standardizations, the basic microscopic identification and morphological identification of the plant, the first and foremost important step in the herbal drug standardization. Then comes about the regulatory affairs, where we talk about the components in the form of what are all the different quality assurance components that is required to be done for the clinical research and quality assurance, and also intellectual property management, and also with the data analytics. Then comes about the students need to be given hands-on training with the chromatographic techniques, like simple chromatographic techniques, paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography. The students are to be advised to work on their own, like instead of using a pre-coated plate, they can go for the preparation of the plate, activation of the plate, and then putting up the spot and development of the chromatogram, and then analyzing it for RF value and spotter, etc. And then comes about the spectroscopic analysis. Simple UV spectroscopy can be used to determine the lambda max, absorption maximum of the compound. So they can come to know, okay, this is the theoretically given lambda max and where the practically is going to be done. And molecular biology methods, the pharmacological screenings has to be done along with the tools that we are having with the software for the biometric data that we are going to use for the purpose. And most importantly, practical complexity data interpretation has to be learned, has to be taught to the students, so that the academic institution will become a very good platform to identify and understand, practically gain knowledge on the natural product research. Then the research oriented education faculty, we have to encourage ourselves, we have to get trained about the problem solving approaches. Usually we need to go with a we have to do a thorough literature survey. For example, if I am dealing with a fourth year B Pharmacy student, there will be a project work. Instead of going for a mere extraction, isolation, identification, try to find out a good formulation that we can develop in your laboratory on a pilot project. Also, we can make it. And then industry focused research. It is advised to have contact with the people who are working in the herbal drug research development of the herbal industry, and we have to drive them. Innovation driven projects has to be given, and also faculty focused with the research has to be done with the interdisciplinary collaboration. If, for example, if you are working in a multi institution campus, integrated campus, or like a private university, a state university, if you are working, you can go for a collaborating with the chemistry people for the phytochemistry work. You can talk to the biotechnology people, and you can collaborate with them. Two supervisors will be there for the students, and also you also personally, we can get our profile can be strengthened by going with the interdisciplinary collaborations. And then digital competencies, here we have to understand the future professional will have artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, digital health technologies. The skills are increasingly required for the purpose of making the students to be available. And then is the students has to be trained for entrepreneurship. As we all know, the planning of a business, how can be done with the product development, and also with the regulatory pathways that the student need to be understand, and what is the marketing strategy of the particular compound. And it can be driving with the innovation and job creation for the students before they complete their B Pharma program and even also M Pharma program. So here I would like to suggest the faculty members who are listening to me in the as a registered delegate for this FDP, you please plan a project work that will be useful for the people in the form of industry. So we have to think in the form of an industry research oriented person and what industry is expecting. So by getting information, by contacting those people, we have to incorporate those changes to come into the project works of the students in nature. And then comes about the future trends in herbal drug development. Actually, there are plenty number of emerging technologies are coming in herbal drug development, where I wanted to stress basically on personalized herbal medicine, where we have to think of the personalized medicine. It has to be given the touch of the genetic profiles, metabolic characteristics of the person, and disease specific biomarkers identification. Recently, this disease resistant, disease specific biomarkers are the most important one, where we need to talk about the metabolics with the characteristic features and other things in nature. Then comes about the precision phytotherapy. Phytotherapy, where the phytochemicals are used to treat and specific patient population, we have to target the herbal medicine. For this, it is so easy to say, but when we come into the actual usage, actual implementation of this one, we need to do research right from the starting of the selection of medicinal plant itself. We have to think of the specific patient population to which we are going to think of this targeting of the herbal medicine in nature. Actually, the digital healthcare, herbal healthcare has to be done with the integration of the compounds, integration of concepts like the mobile health application, where wearable devices, telemedicine, digital therapeutics. So these are all available already in the market for the synthetic medicine. I wanted to quote this as a, when we are able to integrate this mobile health application that we are seeing in the mobile apps, different apps where we are supposed to incorporate these natural products also, and variable devices which can be worn by the people, like we are seeing the smartwatches and all, which can measure the BP and other vital things in the body, and the telemedicine has to be improved with it, and we should be very careful enough when we are talking about the telemedicine for the natural products, because plenty number of times it will become confused by the person who is receiving these things prescription for the purpose. And sustainable herbal manufacturing is the most important one nowadays. These industries, herbal industries, they are increasing three important things. One is eco-friendly process, the biodegradable processes like organic farming, and also limited or no use of chemicals is the most important one in the pesticides and all. Here we see the eco-friendly processes that we'll be using, and as renewable sources have to be taken. So usually when we talk about a plant, if the leaf is a plant source as a drug, when we are very happy that we can collect the leaves and remaining plant will be left as it is for some time to regrow the leaves. In such way, renewable resources only will be going with the waste minimization strategies. We have to minimize the waste, where we seeing the quantity. That quantity is going to be in the form of the one where the waste has to be minimized in nature. And then comes the global harmonization of regulation, where the future efforts may be focusing on the unified quality standards, harmonized safety requirements, and internationalization of the products that we are going to get it out. Then the strategic recommendation of the academia. Here I wanted to discuss the most important thing to meet with the industrial expectation. Academic institutions have to strengthen industry partnership. We have to identify the natural product research laboratories, Ayurvedic herbal formulation manufacturers, plenty number of the homeopathic, Ayurvedic, Unani, and other components. The partnership has to be included. And then we have to establish the center of excellence in the herbal drug research, where a collaborative research from the other components is going to be taken into consideration. Then comes about the encouraging with the patient-oriented reach research has to be done. Whereas, as I told you, AI and biotechnology into curricula has to be incorporated. Hopefully, our new syllabus will be helpful for this one. And the laboratory infrastructure has to be improved in to the person. And then we have to try to facilitate industrial internships. Particularly, we have to send the students who those are in the third year or fourth year of B pharmacy as an industrial internship to herbal drug industries, where the quality control, how the bulk drug is manufactured, how the bulk drug is supplied, and how the supply chain is working, all these things. And then we have to go for the incubation startup, and also for the purpose of making it promoting evidence-based herbal research in the nature. Then comes about the conclusion. So in our talk, I was talking to you about the integration of traditional medicine, that is going to be a modern scientific and technological advancement is required, where we need to do challenges. That was I was talking to you about the standardization, quality control, regulatory compliances, sustainability, clinical validation, innovations in biotechnology, analytical sciences, artificial intelligence, metabolomics, nanotechnology. They are creating a new opportunity in the industry. It is our role now, as a crucial role we are going to play in the academic institution. We have to develop the professional through updated curricula. That's what we are going to see. And research initiatives has to be taken into consideration. Industry collaborations are to be taken into one, where the future success of the herbal medicine depends primarily strongly on the academia, industry, regulator, and healthcare stakeholders were ensuring scientifically validated, safe, effective global competitiveness in the herbal. So here I would be taking to go with the strong partnership that I was talking to you, industry and academia strong partnership. And there is another partnership I wanted to talk. Industry people has to join with the academicians of the pharmacognosy and natural product researchers, and also they have to incorporate the folk medicine and traditional medicine that is available in the tribal areas and other components. So with these things, we can make effective industry academia collaboration in the natural products for the purpose. So before I conclude, I wanted to acknowledge the Almighty God for the blessings, management, Professor Dr. B.V. Ramana sir, Professor and Principal at Dr. B. Aruna ma'am, Coordinator of the 5 days FDP, and all the faculty members and non-teaching staff at Dr. K.V. Subbareddy Institute of Pharmacy, Kurnool. Really, it is very good to see that 5 days program has been planned and successfully it is going on from yesterday onwards. Ramana sir, you are doing a great work, and Aruna ma'am, thanks for the chance for choosing me as a one of the resource person. And I wanted to thank my management director, Dr. S. Mohan Lakshmi madam, my principal here, and colleagues at Amity Institute of Pharmacy, Amity University, Bengaluru, Karnataka. And finally, I wanted to thank all the registered delegates of this FDP for active participation and the patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dear participants, if you have any doubts or queries regarding the session, you can ask the sir. I request all the faculty members who are in the meeting. If you have any doubts or queries regarding the session, you can ask Dr. Sanjeev Kumar sir. Sir will answer your queries. Dear participants, you can unmute your microphone and ask sir any doubts. There are no queries, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Then
On
we
behalf
shall
of
conclude.
organizing traditional knowledge is being integrated with modern scientific advancements. Your valuable insights and future trends such as personalized herbal medicine, digital healthcare integration, sustainable manufacturing, and global harmonization of regulations have inspired all of us to think beyond conventional approaches and prepare for the future of pharmaceutical sciences. We sincerely appreciate your time, expertise, and willingness to share your vast knowledge and industrial perspectives with us, sir. Your session has undoubtedly enriched our understanding and motivated us to strengthen the link between education, research, and industry. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you, all the participants, for joining the today's session. Dear participants, if you have any queries, we have, yes, sir. You can ask the sir. Please unmute your microphone and ask, sir. I think one person is raising hands.
Please carry on, ma'am.
No queries means we will end the session, sir.
Somebody
Thank
by
you, sir.
like Manjari Mittal, I have a question she is asking.
Yes, ma'am.
If she is
Please
not able to
unmute your
speak,
microphone.
yeah, I'll just ask her to put in chat box, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
With this, we are ending the today's session. Thanks to all
So
the participants for joining the today's session.
1 minute, ma'am. She's asking a topic. What PhD topic can we take? Shall I answer here? Is she able to hear? Okay, actually, it is up to you to go for a this thing what you call a PhD topic. You have to select the PhD topic based on two important things. One is the activity of interest and compound of interest. When you are working on a natural product, you have to think of what is my area of working. See, basically, I personally work on all the time flavonoids. So my compound of interest will be flavonoids. All the time, whenever I work on the natural products, no, I will be seeing, and I will be what you call think of how best I can go for the identification of the compounds flavonoids in the plant. So you have to choose a plant which is having flavonoids in it. You have to do a thorough literature survey, and based on that, you can claim in your viva also the plant was having these flavonoids, and because of that, I was able to take these things. And the second thing is that you can choose with the what you call natural products references of Ayurvedic natural products and other components, where we can talk about in Ayurveda. Ayurveda Samhita and other traditional books, it is given that the so and so plant is useful for the activity, and you have to search the standard publication platforms like Science Direct and other components, and you have to think of how far best we can make it out with the activity, whether it is published or not. Then you can go for it. So you have to choose the PhD topic based on your interest, and then what are all the available medicinal plants in and around us. And at the same time, as I told in the starting of the session, if you identify a new therapeutic candidate from an endangered plant, it is merely waste. So we should not go like that. The plan should be very simple, known to everybody, and the activity and the action, chemical compound that you are going to see, that should be a new model. I hope this clarify your this thing. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
you
sir.
can do you can do on Ayush also. You can do on Ayush also. You have to collaborate with the people, and any of the Ayurveda, Unani, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy, you can manufacture. You can go for the printing and other things. Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir. Dr. Sanjeev, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, can you please explain the current research trends in Ayush, because you mentioned about Ayush, and any research funding agencies from Government of India or any other government organizations which are spending towards the research in Ayush and herbal related products?
Actually, Department of Ayush itself is a funding agency. Department of Ayush itself is a funding agency. Every 3 months, if I'm not wrong, or every once in a 6 months, they are issuing notifications for the funding. There are different kinds of fundings, like a PhD. You can register for the PhD at the same time in a university or a CSIR laboratory, like that. And the topics that they are interested is that commercialization of the compound. See, there is a plant, and you know that it contains some chemical compound and it is useful for the so and so disease. So it is your turn now to scientifically validate it and make it product should come to market. So if you are able to plan in such a way, definitely you can get funding from Ayush. They are looking for the people who are working on natural products, particularly who can commercialize the product. This is the most important one. Those days are gone. Earlier, they used to, I told you in the talk also, if you do isolation, extraction, identification, pharmacological screening is done, project work is completed. But in Ayush, they are looking for the people who can work for the purpose.
Thanks for the information, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Shall we conclude, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
very
for
much.
accepting our invitation, sir.
Thank you. Bye.